before, my name is, you can see my name, Noah Buleng Sidimo from the Lemkongwen University of Creative Technology from Botswana. And today we're going to talk about a concept product that I came up with called the Sanitary Program Application Mask, or should I say SPAM for short. Now, as we proceed, we are going to go through the topics discussed. The topics that I'm going to be discussing are the problem statement, what is spam and how does spam work, and what is the target market, or where is spam going to be related to? That's the target market. And how is spam different from gas mask or any other mask? What material is going to be used in the process, and what production processes are involved, and also the cost of production, advantages and disadvantages, and it goes down to the conclusion. Now, without further ado, we start with the problem statement. Notice I wrote, at the time of writing this paper, we had over 2 million cases of COVID-19. I know we're going a little over 13 million, so please bear with me with the incorrect figures and whatnot. With over 2 million cases of COVID-19 cases of corona, the World Health Organization classified the virus as a pandemic, whereby our livelihoods has once again been transformed. Economies have been slowed down, shops have been closed down, and state of emergency protocols have been applied all over the world, including Botswana. And we have Botswana men and women who are also in the front lines, which are our nurses, our soldiers, our policemen, our bank tellers, and people that are in our essential workers in our community, which I'll further explain within the presentation. And how much are we protecting them as regular Botswana, and what solution should we graft as Botswana? And I believe on the 15th of April, the President of Botswana has charged us, the citizens of Botswana, to come up with any product or any solution that will help and benefit the Botswana in general. Hence, I came up with the product, which will hopefully answer all the questions that are facing us in this current pandemic, which is the Sanitary Program Application Mask, or should I say SPAM. And as we go further, what is SPAM, ladies and gentlemen? SPAM, ladies and gentlemen, is a hard plastic or a rubber substance sanitary mask, which includes 2 small electrical fans connected on the left and the right, similar to a gas mask or a paintball mask. But what makes it different between all the other masks is the canisters, which I will further explain on the slides. And also, it incorporates the use of smart devices with Bluetooth connectivity to relay reliable information of the user's breathing rate and the other measurements relating to respiratory systems. It has been confirmed by the World Health Organization that respiratory symptoms are also a factor into indicating if the coronavirus indicators or whatnot. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically the basic drawing. I'm not sure if can you all see the letters? Can you all see the drawing? Is it too small?
You need to put it on slideshow and
no, it is already on slideshow.
And then from beginning, so that you put it on full shares. Argument is
okay.
Coming too small. I don't know if anybody can see the full slide or
no.
Oh, you can see the full slide.
We can see.
You can see.
If you click from beginning, click from beginning.
I think you need to leave the screen share and restart the screen share. We can only see what you shared at the very beginning.
Okay, let me just do this. Okay, from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, let me just.
If you press F5, that may work.
And make sure you don't minimize your screen.
Oh.
No, you don't minimize now.
Okay. Sorry, I do apologize. I'm still learning Zoom myself.
No, it's okay.
All right, it's okay.
This is a safe place.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
If you can just click from the beginning, that should solve the problem.
Okay.
From beginning, it's on the far left from the screen.
All right.
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. From the beginning.
Yeah. You click that.
All right. Is that better now?
Click it again.
Sorry?
Yeah, click it again. One more time.
One more time. Okay.
I mean,
No, I think you should go to the green tab at the top of the screen and stop sharing your screen so that we can see the, and then start the screen share all over again from the beginning.
Okay. There we are. Okay. All right, let me stop the sharing and then start again. Screen. Okay, this should be enough. Is that better, ladies and gentlemen?
You just carry on. Anyway.
Okay.
You just carry on, yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for the resolution.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. As I explained before, can everybody see the diagram?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Everybody can see the diagram. Okay. Thank you. As I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, you can see this is the conceptual drawing that I made using various programs such as Adobe Illustrator. The cooling fan, as I mentioned, it is the canister which holds certain components within the fan. It will be in the next slide, and I'll explain that. And then, as you can see, you have the Bluetooth module, which is responsible for connectivity and relaying information. And then we have the smart chip, the yellow unit or the yellow rectangle, which is mainly responsible for holding the user's data and information, whether is the user as a patient of a hospital, or is he, does he have, basic patient information. And then also we have the external tube for, releasing resultant carbon dioxide built up within the mass so that, the user can easily breathe and easily function. And then to the next slide, this is the cooling fan drawing, whereby we mentioned about it's this little round thing. Within the cooling fan, we have an aerosol canister, which holds, it's a placeholder for any liquid, or should I say, any substance. Could be like, that can destroy pathogens, germs, and it has a permeable membrane so that the fan can easily blow through the canister, and then it can spread antibacterial fluid in the form of aerosol or air. So as you can see within the diagram, once the fan switches on, the air blows through the aerosol canister, and then it then flows to within the mask so that it can become cool, it becomes clean, and it fights off the bacteria within the mask, and also the temperature regulation becomes much more easier as well. So what is the target market? Who are the people? What is this product aimed to go to? The target market for spam will be essential workers spanning from transport, industrial, agriculture, commerce. Because basically in Botswana especially, these are the economies that are the people that we heavily rely on. From industrial, we have people that work with manufacturing furniture or manufacturing masks as well. Things that are very important in this day and age. And then we have, security, police, people that are responsible for maintaining order and justice within this pandemic. And then we have got agriculture, which is probably the main source of our livelihood, or one of the main source, if not. And agriculture is a huge, 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 huge thing in Botswana. And without it, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much swamped, or will be swamped. And then we go to what materials we used. As stated previously, the mask will be made out of rubber filament or hard plastic, and to give the mask a comfortable placement. And to reduce humidity, I thought that cotton would be a good absorbent of moisture within the mask. And then also the rubber filament as well. It gives the structure of the mask not only just structural integrity, but flexibility as well, so that the wires don't have to, so that the wires, there's not enough tension to break the wires as well. And, and also, this mask is also ideal with patients, because mind you, those patients can also be involved within the industrial and security, in the essential sector of the economy, basically, to say. And because we never know what's going to happen, so we have to prepare for them as well, because patients vary from every aspect of of the sector of the economy. And then also materials continued. As stated previously, the mask will be mainly made out of rubber filament and, I'm repeating the same thing. And then these are one of the examples of 3D printed items as well. As you can see, you can make a vase out of a 3D printer, a monkey wrench. And then 3D has also been used to, to manufacture prosthetic arms. And as well as 3D printers have been used to manufacture rubber soles for your common brands such as your Nikes, your Adidas, and whatnot. And I was just giving these examples just how to show what material are we talking about. So that's why I gave that example for those. So how do you produce such a product? As you all know, in any engineering field, I believe, whether it ranges from software engineering or mechanical engineering or chemical engineering, I'm not sure about mechanical, but anyway, requirements elicitation takes place, meaning how do you find the functional and non-functional requirements? What is needed and what is not needed? This is the process this is probably the most important process whereby we consult each and every stakeholder. Now, the stakeholders involved, they could mean from your police, from your patient, from the medical staff, from everybody from the branch of government to the medical field, to industrial field, to transportation, and the citizens themselves, because they all have a part to play into how to decide how do the mask, what are the performances of the mask. And then through the design stages, virtual drawings of the plans can also decide how the mask should look like and how feel, and how well the components will integrate with each other. Once the design stage has taken place, the prototype will be produced through a 3D printer, and later the 3D printer can be used to make the structure of the mask, and electronic components will be inserted manually. Although right now in Botswana, we are very heavily consistent, or should I say reliant, on manual labor. So we're trying to find ways to create employment. So this is one of them. Wiring will be inserted as well. The Bluetooth module as well will be inserted so that we can, and then it will be checked whether does it relate with other devices as well. And also the smart chip can be integrated so that it can use and it can store and record anything related to humidity or any respiratory diseases such as, your breathing rate, your heart rate, and any medical record information. And then as well, we test the accuracy and we make the necessary data range checks, the data values, and what necessary data types are really responsible, that will be responsible for, for managing all those type of, unprocessed information, which is data. And then the prototypes will meet the demands and the integration will proceed to the hospitals, transportations, industrials, and other essential institutes. All the stages of production will need at least to fulfill, all the stages will require at least a month. But overall, to complete such a task of building a spam mask will take it should not take more than 3 months. After that, we need an additional 3 weeks for feedback and determine the feature modifications for future design, if it is a success. In addition, we could measure the breathing rate where an external tube connector from the mask through the use of a machine called a spirometer. Of course, initially, to capture the breathing rate would be impossible, but if that's going to be impossible, we can use other devices or companion devices such as the spirometer so that, the user through the mask, through the external tube of the mask, can blow through, and once he takes a measurement of the spirometer or whatever measurement within the spirometer, he or she can record the data with using a companion app on your smartphone, and then they can relay the information to your nearest health institute. Hence, because obviously we don't have such robust network structures in Botswana. So these are one of the factors I had to consider when building such a product, and other measurements as well. And the cost of production, of course, we all want to know how much does it really cost to produce such a thing. And then given the scope of productions and ease of procuring materials such as plastic, rubber, which ordinary Botswana can procure, the structure will relatively easy. But then you see, it intensifies when you purchase electrical equipment. Right now, today, it is really quite hard to procure electrical equipment from China or from Europe per se, because of the COVID-19 essentials protocol and state of emergency protocols. It's really quite hard. So that's where the logistics come into play, and it's a bit dicey. At the time, I researched the prices using various websites from Amazon, Alibaba, and I'm sorry, I could have referred it to you, but due to time, and also 3D Insider. Those are the websites that I use to find out the prices for each. Now, notice these are the prices to produce 100 masks. This is not the actual price. You can see here on for USD, 12,543.25. That's how much money you would require to build, let's say, 100 units of a spam mask. So if you can take that amount and divide it by 100 units, that's how much you require to build one spam mask. Okay, and then we get to the advantages. What are the advantages of having a spam mask? Obviously, the first one will be having a clean and safe air within the mask, as I mentioned about the aerosol canister, whereby it has a solvent which is permeable to spread antibacterial aerosol within the mask. And it is ideal for patients with underlying conditions such as diabetes, HIV, which high number or high cases in Botswana. And then we have autonomous reactions to high humidity, which would be very beneficial. Because instead of switching on the fan all the time, if the humidity gets too high within the mask, the fan can just simply switch on and then it dries out the humidity within the mask. And then almost 99.9% prevention of pathogens. But then since, I have written 99 prevention, but since Corona is such a mutation, it just mutates all the time. I would say almost 92 to 93% of prevention. And then it's also clean to sanitize. You can just take the mask and then you can just apply and sanitize like what we usually do with our equipment in Botswana. We usually take our sanitizers and sanitize our equipment from the outside and the inside, it doesn't matter. And it can be controlled by using a control app, and then incorporates device compatibility, which means it can interact with various devices, or at least or aims to, to incorporate with a lot of devices. And then immediate notification should, and also with the help of the companion app, you could, it could have immediate notifications should a problem occur. Let's say that your breathing rate is too low or you don't feel too good. In future designs, you can implement sensors whereby the companion app can notify the user, look, see a hospital. And then 3D printers can mass produce masks quite faster. So disadvantages. The only disadvantage is that it's only available to the essential sector of the company, of the economy, meaning it's only available, it's only exclusive to only the essential sector of the economy. And of course, I would rather have it that all Botswana should have the product, but due to the cost and the specialized workforce and the current employment rate, it is only possible that it is exclusive to the essential sector of the economy. But in future designs or in future stages, it should be readily available for the public. Electronic supplies may be delayed due to logistics, as I mentioned before, COVID-19 and the logistics of it affecting transportation, flights, and whatnot. And it requires training and safety precautions, which, yes, within the product, it requires additional training, meaning when customers, or should I say the people are applying the mask, they are required to go through a training course. But this training course could only go to, I would say, like, as I mentioned, essential sector of the economy. So we're dealing with companies. So that means when you go to companies, you go to the bosses and they say, look, this is how the mask is working. This is how you connect it with your phone. This is how it should be managed. This is how. And also a small workforce. As I mentioned, unemployment rates in Botswana are really such an invention. We cannot, it's impossible to have a large workforce or to create large employment. And then workforce, they must have a degree, knowledge, or specialization for the product, meaning we should have someone who knows how to build, how to manufacture wires. We should know somebody who is very well versed in electronics, well versed in design, and well versed in building or working with 3D printers. In conclusion, this idea or concept aims to provide relief to this pandemic, and hopefully this proposal concept may have shed some light on what possible solutions we can use and produce at our disposal. I believe that Botswana are innovative, and my idea doesn't have to be necessarily the best solution out there. But as the author, I believe slight modifications in the smallest areas can have a huge impact. We should place high emphasis on our essential workers, because also those who are in our front lines, including nurses, truck drivers, retail operators, bank tellers, police, the Botswana Defense Force, or our soldiers, etc. Because they're the ones who are responsible for maintaining law and order, and the nurses maintaining our health. And I would like to thank you, the audience, for giving me such your time and your patience for hearing out my concept. And thank you for hearing my presentation.